how's it going? Hello, hello, hello. Hi.
Is it natural for Aquarius to have strong intuition? The answer is yes. Aquarius is a highly spiritual zodiac sign because it's the closest sign to zodiac sign Pisces, who is the most spiritual zodiac sign. So Pisces is the most spiritual, and everybody else who's closer to Pisces is going to be more and more spiritual. As we get further and further away from Pisces, we get less and less spiritual. So Aries is the furthest away from Pisces, and Aries is more into the physical world and less into like the metaphysical, esoteric world, right? You know, when we're talking about war, we're not talking about an esoteric war or a metaphysical war, an imaginary war. We're talking about physically a war. Aries is physically at war with themselves, or they're physically at war with the people in their environment. When Aries is in a relationship, they're constantly at war with their partner, even if it's like a humorous kind of war, like a playful kind of war, or like I'm just taking a light little jab kind of war. But either way, Aries is constantly at war in the physical sense with their environment, with themselves, with life, right? Pisces, on the other end, is totally chilled out about life. You know, it's like two extremes, right, of the zodiac wheel. Pisces is not fretting about anything, worried about anything, planning anything. Pisces is just vibing through life. That's not to say Pisces doesn't work hard or Pisces isn't accomplished. Not at all. Pisces is actually quite accomplished. Pisces is actually quite a hard worker. Pisces is very serious about their responsibilities, and they actually like to shock people about how good they are at their jobs. But the bottom line is, Pisces generally does not give it a lot of emotional energy to work because Pisces just knows that life does what it does. Life is gonna life no matter what. Like, I could plan a million things all I want. The universe is going to have the final say. You know, I could want this person, but the universe may not give me this person. Then I have to figure something else out. So Pisces has lived so many lives. Hi, Madame Janvier. Thank you for being here. Pisces has lived so many lives that they no longer have innocent expectations of life. Yes, they're delusional in the sense that they expect things to go well, and they're delusional in the sense that they see the good in everyone. Hi, Cat Love 224. And yes, they're delusional in the sense that their heart is pure and it's loving, and they have an immense capacity for unconditional love. But Pisces knows that people are shitty. Okay? They've lived enough lives to know that. They're not delusional about that. They know people are shitty, and they know people have done shitty things to them over the years. But the difference is they choose to let it go and give it to God because they know God is going to handle it. They know whatever that person, oh, thank you, Is the Kid, for my gift badge. And you're officially the #1 gifter. Yay! Oh, thank you, Ms. Janvier. Thank you so much for my gifter badge. Officially #2. Go gifter, go gifter. So Pisces is well aware of how dark it is out here sometimes. They're well aware of human suffering. They're well aware of like the ways in which we are horrible to one another in this world. They're not in denial about that. It's that they check out from it because they know they're not in control. They know God is going to do whatever God decides to do. They know the universe is going to do whatever the universe decides to do. So why worry about it? So that's Pisces' attitude. Why worry about it? Because once you become spiritual, you understand that you control your energy. You control your manifestations in the sense that you control your intentions, but you don't have the ultimate say so. So you check with your spirit guides, right? You check with your intuition to get some guidance. So Pisces has learned to give up their ego to the spirit world. Pisces, in fact, is actually the only zodiac sign that is more connected to the spirit world than they are to this world, to this dimension. And that's what makes them special, in fact. So right next to Pisces, you have Aquarius. Aquarius is a visionary. Aquarius rules science. Aquarius rules technology. All of that is spiritual energy. I know when you guys think about spirituality, and I say you guys because I mean all of us really, when all of us think about spirituality, we think of it, oh, thank you, Ms. Janvier, for being the #1 gift, getting the #1 gifter badge. Thank you so much from my hand heart. Even though I didn't put a goal on there, you guys are spoiling me with gifts, and That is very sweet of you. It really means a lot to me. Thank you. This was just going to be a random pop-up and me popping out. So thank you for hanging on. I'm glad you're enjoying this. So it's not that Pisces doesn't know. Pisces knows what's going on. They've just chosen the higher road. They've chosen God's way. They've chosen God's path. And yes, sometimes they're so into God's path that they're not here physically here to like see people with their naked eye and do things to protect themselves from people that are constantly after them to abuse them and, you know, take all of their goodness from them and rob them of all of their joy and satisfaction in life. This is something Pisces has to work on. But the reason why they do that is because they are the most spiritual zodiac sign. Okay? So Aquarius is next in line for being the most spiritual zodiac sign. So back to Aquarius ruling science and technology. In the future, I suspect that religion is going to be technology. Mark my words, okay? I know this sounds crazy to some of you listening now, but mark my words, 30 years from now, I need somebody to play this tape, you know, play this whatever compartment we have this on at that time, whether it's like something that comes out of your brain and you just like throw it into space and it plays it. Because remember when we had cassettes and DVDs and CDs and no one plays those things anymore and tape players? I need someone to play this. The religion of the future is not a religion based on the dogmas that we're currently living in. It's a religion based on technology. The religion of the future is going to be technology. There are going to be people who get it and people who don't get it. So the new like separation in the future is going to be around who's well versed in technology, who are the people that are going to be progressive, the people that are in the future, the people that are impacting society, culture, language, science, and then the people that are less versed in technology are going to be the people that do not have the ability to have that impact because they do not have the technological skills to even be a part of these conversations. Are you with me? So the religious aspect of Aquarius looks different from Pisces. For Aquarius, it is tangible. It's a tool that they give the world so the world can connect. Aquarius is why you and I right now are able to have this live. Technology is a reason why we have the internet, why we even met. Because if it wasn't for technology, how would we have met? How would we have had this moment? This is the religion of the future. What's going to happen with Pluto and Aquarius is that religion in the traditional sense is going to die down. And what's going to go up is people connecting around similar values through technological skills. But the Bible of how we operate, what's acceptable, what isn't acceptable, and how we treat each other, all of that is going to be governed by social media. It's going to be governed by the internet. It's going to be governed by technology. As an example, we're now entering this age where when people talk about things on social media, people can easily connect those people to who they are in real life. This is a new development. When I was growing up in high school and the internet was just getting started with dial-up, we weren't even thinking that advanced. So now think about this newer generation, the 3-year-olds, the 5-year-olds that grew up with, pads. I grew up with laptops since they were born. Think about where they're going to be with their technological skills when they get to be in their 20s and their 30s and their 40s. The children of the future are smarter than us. They're better than us. They're more advanced than us. They're more technologically sound than us. And a lot of the morality that we got from religion is now going to be morality that we tie from social media. As another example, there are certain faux pas that are unacceptable in social media that deem you like a bad person. Like as an example, people trolling people on social media. We consider that to be a bad person. Ironically, that is the only place where you can do that. Because in real life, right, if you were to be harassing somebody at their desk at work, or if a neighbor was harassing you physically, you would take them to court. You would call the police. You would get an order of protection. There would be legal ramifications that immediately send the message that this behavior is inappropriate. But in an online world, people feel like they have more leverage because their faces aren't seen. So they assume that their anonymous identity will forever remain anonymous. But what I'm here to tell you is that in the future, there is going to be no such thing as an anonymous identity in the world of the internet. Because in the same way that we're now discovering who the real people are from the internet, we're only going to get better at that. And the people that are lying online, stealing online, misbehaving online, online is going to be where they get shamed, and online is going to be where they get held accountable. So has anyone seen Black Mirror? This is another reference just to draw that point home. Has anyone seen Black Mirror? It's a show on Netflix. I'm going to wait for the answers before I continue. Oh, okay. So you've seen it, Iyobosa. Anyone else has seen Black Mirror? It's a series. Yes. Okay. Now, you guys tell me whether you remember this episode or not. So I don't remember the name of it, but there was an episode where there was a girl who was so obsessed with her social media, and it was like a similar type of thing like Facebook, but it wasn't called Facebook, obviously for legal reasons. But she was so obsessed about like her likes on social media, how she was perceived on social media. And that was kind of like everything to her. And she became so consumed with it. And we could see like in the future, that's like literally the only way people acknowledge each other is through their online presence. So if you're not, yeah, she lost her dang mind is what Miss January said. Absolutely. That's exactly the episode I'm referencing. She lost her mind with her obsession. Because in the future, when social media is now how we connect, it's now our church, it's how we community, because we're no longer communitying down the street with the pastor that's like shaming us for being who we are. Now we're being authentic, and we're finding community that represents who we are. And what many of us have found out is that online we get access to a greater pool of people than the people we would not have access to in regular life. You know, we get to get away from, small-minded people that we grew up with. We get to meet people we didn't even know exist that could validate our entire life experiences to us. So all the diversity that social media is bringing to our world, we are going to be gripping onto that for dear life. So that is going to be how we measure our behavior, because the nasty things we do on social media are going to actually cost us in real life, because there will be very little separation between real life and social media in the future. And that will officially be our religion. So Aquarius is spiritual because they provide us with a tool. As being ruled by Saturn, they're very much so into hard work, technology, science. Aquarius wants to give us a tool to bring us together as a community. And you're going to see how social media and the internet explodes over the next 10 years. It's going to get very interesting. All this stuff that's going to happen with AI, like how I'm so excited, but also a little bit nervous, because it's going to be insane, but also exciting. Like, we're literally going to live online, like in the future, like literally live online, and just wait to see. Just wait to see. Okay. So Aquarius wants to give us a tangible tool. So Aquarius is like, here's a phone. Here's the internet. All of these things are given to you so you can come together and just realize how magical life is. That you can sit here and literally be having a conversation with someone in Shanghai with a click of a button. When I was growing up, that wasn't something you could do. When I was a kid in high school, I can't even imagine that. Like, we're still getting up with like chat rooms and stuff. So that is the power of Aquarius, is that they take the spiritual aspect of Pisces and put it into something tangible, a technological tool that can help bring us together and that can help elevate our consciousness to a higher state. Because the one thing technology has provided us is that it's made us realize we're not all that different after all. If there's one thing that I've gotten from utilizing TikTok, that's what I've learned. I've learned that my childhood is boring. And even like the horrible things that have happened that I think were difficult have happened to a lot of people. I've learned that my parents are just like every other African parent that is out there. I've learned that a lot of therapists or former therapists or current therapists, that are online have a lot of similar views as me. I've learned that there's way more diversity out there in the world than what I've realized. There are couples I've met on TikTok I didn't even know existed. Like, I've met so many like multicultural couples that I didn't even know could like literally meet and like have a relationship enough to like have kids that they want us to like know about. So if there's one thing TikTok has done is that it's brought us together in a religious kind of way where all of us come on here and we spend time and we come here to like learn things. We come here to feel good and we come here to have a good time. That is why people go to church. They go to learn things, they go to feel good, and they go to have a good time. And on a spiritual wavelength, they go to reaffirm their faith in humanity and their faith in God. Aquarius does that for us through science. It's the same concept. It just looks different. Because the rules of morality don't change whether you're in real life or not real life, you know? You shouldn't be harassing anybody in real life. Nobody would harass somebody in real life and not expect to go to prison or jail. Nobody's that stupid, right? But when people get online, they forget that the rules of the real world apply to the rules of online. So they get comfortable until the technology catches up with them. And then that's how they get found out. So they don't realize on the front end that what they're doing, even though we don't have the technology for it today, that 5 years from now we will. And what they think they're doing is secret is not going to be a secret. They're not thinking like that because it's still developing, right? So that is the point that I'm making, that in the future, that line between my fake world of social media and my real world in my real life is going to be very, very thin. And the things that we do in real life are also going to be judged on the internet. And the things that we do on the internet are also going to be judged in real life. And people that have like been super racist online and harassing of other people online have like already felt some of that. Like people have literally lost their jobs for like racial epithets that they've thrown at people during this whole like summer of, you know, of Black Lives Matter that we're going through. So I say all of that to say that was the beginning of that transition where all of us are going to be here. All of us are going to have exposure here. All of us are going to be held accountable here, even though some of us don't realize it yet, but we will. And nothing is going to be hidden here because technology is always ahead. AI is here. Come on, robots are here. Robots are writing articles for us. Come on now. It's time to get on the horse. We're not going backwards. It's only going forward. AI is in everything. In the future, we're going to have like avatars that are shopping for us, dressing us, like doing everything. Everything is going to be online. Honestly, everything in the age of Aquarius. So it's really about being a good person and being a kind person. Because if you're a good person and a kind person, whether you're online or offline, your behavior is going to be the same. If you're a shitty person in real life, of course you're going to come online and be a shitty person. But the problem is, if we're in real life, some of the shitty things that you do online, you wouldn't do in real life because you know there are real life repercussions for that. But in the future, there will be real life repercussions for the shitty things that you do online. And if you're someone who's smart, you should have already peeped that because people are losing their jobs for things that they're doing online. That's already happening. So technology is our religion. The people that do not partake in our religion, the people that do not use phones, the people that do not use internet, the people that don't have any social media presence, those are the people that are going to be left behind. Because in the future, this is our Bible. So circling back to your question about what else makes Aquarius spiritual, it's also because Aquarius is in the future. Okay? Now, this is going to sound a little weird to some of you, so follow me, okay? Listen closely. Aquarius is from the future, literally from the future. Aquarius is an alien in the literal sense. There's nothing funny about it. They're actually not from Earth. Every Aquarius that you meet can tell you that. If you're willing to listen, if you're willing to hear what they're telling you, they will all admit to it that they've never felt like they belonged here. Most of them are born into families that don't feel that they belong to, even though they love their families. But usually they're like the weird one, the odd one, the black sheep, or just the weird one, period. So Aquarius is weird because Aquarius is not from here. So let's stop saying Aquarius is weird. Well, yeah, if you were from another country and you went to a country where everybody looks the same, you would be weird too. That's kind of how it works. So they're the odd man out. Aquarius is from the future. Aquarius was brought to Earth to help the humans migrate to the future. Are you with me? Yes, you're the outlier. You're not the default. You're not the average. You're not the average. Don't ever let any man make you feel like you're average. He should be grateful to be in your presence because you're a futuristic queen, and should he be so lucky to have access to the depth of knowledge, conversation, insight, intuition that you bring to the table. Should he be so lucky? This is why Aquarius is so wise, because they're from the future. This is why they know so much, because they're from the future. This is why you can't hide very much from them, because they're from the future. Oh, I'm going to hype you up any day, friend. Any day. Any day. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Aquarius is a special type of human. This is why here in the US, they make up the least likely zodiac sign to find in the wild. According to US data, year after year after year, the babies that are least born to Aquarius zodiac sign are to zodiac sign Aquarius are the few. So less babies here in the US born under Aquarius than any babies. There's a reason for that. Their mission is to move us to the future. This is why Aquarius is very progressive about human rights, fairness, justice, being a humanitarian, doing right by people, being kind, being gentle, being fair, being somebody that's thoughtful, being somebody that understands that the things you do affect other people. Thank you, Paula, for coming in. For my beautiful roses. I appreciate it. Aquarius is through and through a genuine, authentic, kind person. And they're that way because they know they are from the future. And they know in the future, the shitty things you do in the past are going to catch up with you. Are you with me? Now I need you to follow me. This is why Aquarius ghosts you the minute they get a whiff about the fact that you're a shitty person. Because you're from the future. So Aquarius has already seen the magnitude of that shitty little behavior that you did in the future, and they've already seen how much bigger and worse it gets. And they decided they could not pay that cost today. So they got off the train. Because they fundamentally need you to be a genuinely nice and kind person who cares about people. Okay? Who deeply cares about humanity, cares about themselves, and cares to do right by people. So they may not call themselves religious, but that is what Jesus was talking about, right? Are you with me? I know I'm losing some of you because when we start getting into religion, you guys think it's like this book and it has to be this way. The way Aquarius is, the fundamental values and beliefs of Aquarius are the values and beliefs of Jesus Christ. That's another thing that makes Aquarius a spiritual zodiac sign. Because if you're a mean person, Aquarius does not want to know you. They don't care what you have. They don't care who you know. They don't care how much money you got going on. They don't care what opportunities you can bring them. They will literally cut their head off and risk losing potential of advancement just to get out of having to share energy with a toxic, nasty spirit. Because I know in the future, we want to align with divinity. We want to align with God. We want to align with light, with love, with what's true. So that no shitty behaviors is not what's going to get them there. So you guys call Aquarius the ghoster is because they're getting their spidey senses or telling them, I made a mistake by projecting too much goodness on this soul. This is a shitty soul. And the thing that they did to me yesterday, I know tomorrow they're going to literally do that thing, but much worse. So I'm just going to get off the train. And they do. They do. So let me read some of the comments because you guys have had a lot of comments. Someone said that's so true as well about the spiritual community being the internet. Exposure, yes. The internet is going to be used to expose people's true colors in the future. It's going to be a virtual court judge when it's time. Absolutely. There's going to be the judge that's fully versed in how to use Facebook, how to use Twitter, how to use whatever app is going to be alive at that time. They're going to know how to get those receipts. People think they can create fake accounts and delete them and people can't identify their location. They don't understand. Like, people don't understand how deep this technology goes, but they're going to get it in the future. The receipts that technology is going to get people to pull that are going to be introduced in a court of law against like people that are doing shitty things online that they think they cannot be identified for in real life. let me just say, I'm going to be here for it. Okay. I'm going to be here for it because as a Capricorn stellium, I try my damnness to play by the rules, to be someone that's fair, that does the right thing, that is high integrity, someone that, that follows the rules, someone that wants to do the right thing and be a good person. But I know not all of us operate that way. And I'm that way because I'm ruled by Saturn. I know Saturn does not play. So I can't play. So I have to stay on the straight and narrow. Okay? But some of you have not gotten that message. So I am looking forward to when y'all are actually physically taught like 3-year-olds, like, hey, we don't throw toys at Tommy. Because when we throw toys at Tommy, Tommy cries and Tommy's sad. And we don't want Tommy to be sad because Tommy's our friend. And, when Tommy's sad and he goes home, then when his mommy and daddy are talking to him or his mommy and mama, whatever, when his parents are talking to him, he's going to be crying and he's going to have a bad evening. And then he's going to feel bad about himself. He's going to think nobody wants to be nice to him. Or maybe he'll even think that he's the problem when really you're the one that threw the toy at him. Some of you like miss that in your training, in your upbringing. I'm sure your parents tried the best they could, but for some of you, did not retain. Technology is what's going to be used as a weapon in the future to get some of you in line, because you cannot in your right mind think that it's okay to leave your real life to come to a machine and to harass somebody on this machine and to literally think that nobody will ever know when you don't even know how the machine works. Like, come on now, let's think about it. Let's shake up our brains. Do you know how this machine is designed? Do you know how to create one? Do you know what's being tracked, what's not being tracked? Do you know how it works? Can you remove your data so that it's never found? If you don't even know the beginning of how to pull apart this technology, hello? How can you ever be that comfortable? Some of y'all really need help. It's like common sense, like basic common sense, basic human decency, basic kindness. Like some of you just miss that entire thing. And then these are the same people that are so quick to talk about how they go to church. Well, I'm sure the church taught you to be nice to people. I'm sure if your leader, minister, pastor knew that you were harassing people online, that they wouldn't tell you were doing something good, right? Yeah. So since your church is not able to penetrate that thick ass brain so that you understand that actions have repercussions, the internet is going to be where you get shamed. And the thing about being shamed on the internet is that it's like out there now. And all people have to do is like Google you or Google the information and there it is. So for the entire duration of your life, you can never get away from this information because it's locked out there for life. You can't reinvent yourself. You can't recreate yourself. You have to literally get like, somebody else to like engineer you, like make maybe like another version of you through science. Like, I just want us to think. That's all I want. So the shitty behaviors that we have that the Bible and the Quran and the Torah and the Baha'i and every religion has tried to teach us that we are insisting on continuing to exhibit, those behaviors are going to be taught to us by technology in the future. So Aquarius is using a different tool, but the outcome is the same. Because if you're somebody who comes online who's respectful, who's kind, who's thoughtful, who does not use the internet to like post naked pictures of people that you used to have intercourse with who no longer want to have intercourse with you, somebody who does not use the internet to like, shame other people or to belittle other people. Like, if you have basic, decent, human decency about yourself and you know how to treat other people based on how you want to be treated, then The internet is going to be a beautiful place for you to be. But if not, that's where your punishment is going to be. So that's how Aquarius is spiritual like Pisces, because at their core, all of their values align with that of Jesus Christ, which is do unto others and fundamentally just be a good person. Be kind. It really comes down to that. Be kind. You don't always have to understand. You don't even have to agree, but you have to be kind because this is a human being like you, and you don't deserve to harass them, to bully them, to throw your weight on them, to invalidate their existence because you didn't create them. You didn't make them. You don't know how to make this person if this person drops dead tomorrow. So since this person is not yours and you didn't make them, whatever is going on with their life is truly none of your business unless they invited you into it. You're not responsible for them. So mind your business, which is what Aquarius is very good at doing, and be nice. That's it. Mind your business and be a kind person. So that's Aquarius. And Aquarius is big on authenticity too. So all the fake shit that people are doing, like in real life versus internet life, because some people are like really nice, respectable people in real life. And then like when they come online, they're like bullies. And like they think like, oh, I'm not a bully in real life. Nobody in my actual life knows I'm a bully. So it's not real. So Aquarius is going to hold your feet to the fire with that because Aquarius is nothing if not authentic. It's like, be yourself. Be yourself. If you're a bully, be yourself. And if you're a bully, just know that people can get arrested for that. Just know that. I know people don't realize that they can get arrested right now for harassing people online, but you can. You can. All I'm saying is in the future, it's going to be even more apparent how quickly that happens because the information to identify people is going to get even more quicker and more crystal clear. So the dark web is also going to be thriving during Pluto and Aquarius. So it's going to be a very interesting time indeed. All right. So that was my answer to how is Aquarius a spiritual zodiac sign? Oh, one last thing about Aquarius. Sorry, I can go on and on about Aquarius forever. But one last thing about Aquarius. Another thing that makes them spiritual is that Aquarius always knows. They don't know how they know, but they always know. When Aquarius has a problem or an issue with someone and they can't quite put their finger on it, listen to this. Literally, all that has to happen is that Aquarius has to think about it long enough and they'll figure it out. Their intuition is on 1,000. They just have to devote some time to think about it. Being an air sign, they're very much so into brain activity. They always know. And if they don't know, they're going to find out. So don't ever try to hide anything from Aquarius. You're being foolish if you think you actually can. So in the same way that Pisces will have dreams about things that haven't happened yet, Aquarius will just know about something that they're not supposed to know. But it wouldn't be like, I discovered a secret, which is what happens with Scorpio, who's also spiritual. It would just be like, I know. I just know. Aquarius just knows. And that's why when you do them wrong, your karma always hits you hard because they're kind, generous people. And they're not into schemes or lying or manipulation and any of those shitty games that you guys play to get love and control. They're just themselves. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And that's okay. They're not the type that go around like bullying people for being different because they know God made everybody. And everybody's here to be themselves, a beautiful version of themselves, which is exactly who they are. So that is Aquarius. Come as you are, right? Isn't that God's message? Isn't that what all of the religions teach? Come as you are. That's Aquarius's religion in the future. Come as you are. And yes, you will pay the consequences for your choices because Saturn is rule bound. There are certain things you can do, certain things you can't do. So that's just life. Great question. I love talking about Aquarius in case you haven't picked it up yet. So any question you have about Aquarius, always ask. I can go on and on and on. One day I'm going to have like a seminar about the zodiac signs and it's just going to be Aquarius, just like a whole weekend of talking to Aquariuses, a whole weekend of talking to Leos. I'm just going to love that because there's certain energies that are just so complex that I could just go on and on because it just gets like deeper and deeper into like their psyche. Their Aquarius is so complex. So misunderstood. The most misunderstood zodiac sign. All right, so that was Aquarius. One more question before I go. Who wants to give me the pleasure of a beautiful astrology question that I can get passionate about? No pressure. I'm just teasing. Just ask whatever question you want. I'll answer it. Oh, I described your mom. Yeah, I didn't get to read all of your statements, but I would like to go back after this next question to read some of the Aquarius statements. So you're an Aquarius and you're definitely going to be getting a reading from me this summer. Oh, yay. Very cool. I've had quite a few Aquas come my way and I love my Aqua readings. They're like the most real readings ever because Aquarius is so like not pretentious. They usually come in just ready to talk and it's such a vibe. That's all I have to say. Such a vibe. I love you guys. As an Aqua rising myself, like the flow is just so always smooth with you guys. All right. So let's see, who is next? Okay, someone wants to know about Aquarius woman and Scorpio man in love. Thank you for that question, AMS. I appreciate it. Those two are attracted to each other. Wherever they go, they're always a fan of each other. They're just like mesmerized by each other. It's like watching that little light that's like playing and you're just like, enticing. That's how they make each other feel. Scorpio man can't believe how wild this woman is, like how free she is and how real she is and how she doesn't even have to try. Like she's just like cool being herself and how like she doesn't care. But even though she's so wacky and out of this world, she's also so fixed and so grounded, which is totally Scorpio man energy. So he's like enticed, like she's dependable. She's trustworthy. She's kind. She's got high ethics, morals, and values. She's progressive. She's herself. She's free-spirited. She's got a free mind. She's highly intelligent. And she's just sexy just by existing. Like, what is this feeling? Who is this creature? Like, who are you? How are you all these things? And yet none of these things at the same time. So a Scorpio man cannot resist an Aquarius woman. It's like an addiction. Like he's just like, oh, like she's like an angel. She's an angel. Like she's not real. She's from another world. She's an angel. And so there's that, right? The other thing is because Aquarius is such a free spirit, they're also free spirited sexually, which, you know, a lot of Scorpios have a lot of sexual energy. But not all of them are comfortable in their sexual energy. But Aquarius is comfortable in everything that they are, including their sexuality. So that always like excites Scorpio men too. Like, whoa, like she does whatever she wants. Like she really doesn't care. Aquarius are like the freaks of the zodiac. If you want a real freak, like all the way like a clean real freak, like all the way like a real freak, not a Virgo type of freak. Like a Virgo freak is like planned freak. If you want a real freak, like an off the cuff freak, down for whatever at any time, anything you never thought about was even possible. Like the way your mind can be blown by Aquarius, the way Aquarius will leave you shattered when they finally leave your life from all of the tricks and the moves that they have, all of this galactic sex that you're going to have. You have never experienced anything like that in your life. I promise you that. Never. And you never will again. That's what it's like to have sex with an alien. It's special. It's pretty cool. Yeah, most humans can't give that to you. They can't. Aquarius is on a whole other level, whole other vibration. It's a whole nother world. A whole nother world. So Scorpio is excited because he sees the possibility of all that he can be with this alien girl that he didn't even know was possible. Like she's real and she's really down. Like, yeah, let's do it. And then Aquarius is excited by Scorpio because, you know, Aquarius is the researcher of the zodiac. So Scorpio is kind of like an onion that has many layers and you have to peel back all the layers before you get to the center because Scorpio is never going to tell you everything you need to know about them up front. You could be with Scorpio for 30 years and still not know them because that's who they are, like chock full of secrets and hiding and introverted and pessimistic and a lot of trauma, all of that stuff that we always talk about. So the fact that Aquarius can be this bold and brave is exciting to them. And Aquarius finds the onion exciting because it's a nice little experiment. Like, let me see what's in here. What happens when I touch this? Oh, okay. So it does that. Interesting. Now let me try that. Oh, very fun. Okay, I like that. I learned something new. Now, what if I put those two things together at the same time? What happens? That's Aquarius. That's Aquarius. Inquisitive mind, smart as shit, inquisitively brilliant. Nobody's a deeper, more intellectual thinker than Aquarius. Yeah, yes, Ms. Jean-Pierre just said I try most things once. Yeah. Aquarius is always down to try something new because they're interested in the knowledge that comes from trying it out. It's often not even about the thing as it is about what do I stand to learn by going on this journey. So they go on the journey because they want to learn something new. And that's how they get to be the smartest zodiac sign, because they're always wanting to learn. They're always ready to learn. They're always ready to discover something new. Most people are not that way. Most people do not operate that way, nor do they think that way. They're very content with the little information they have about the world, and they want to go back in their hole and just, eat their chips and watch their TV shows. Aquarius is an avid, constant consumer of knowledge, of facts, of information. So Scorpio gives them a lot of data to play around with. But ultimately, those two end up not being a good couple a lot of times, unless some of the other patterns are in place because, of the fixed nature, they're both stubborn, both set in their ways, both don't want to change, and it becomes very, very difficult. Hi, Jen. Thank you so much for the compliment on my makeup. It becomes very, very difficult for them to sustain a healthy and stable relationship. And the other thing is Scorpio is very clingy and needy emotionally. Aquarius is very distant and detached emotionally. So that's not going to work. Scorpio thinks if they've had the best sex of their life with Aquarius, he means that they're in love. But Aquarius could generally have the best sex of their life and go do it with somebody else and not think about it. But Scorpio can't do that. They get attached. So Scorpio tries to project their insecurities onto Aquarius, via manipulation and control. And that's not going to work with Aquarius because they already see your moves before you play them. Because remember, they're in the future. They're never in the present. They're always in the future. And another reason why Aquarius ghosts people is because they live in the future, they can imagine their future lives. And if they don't see you in the future, there's no point in dragging you along. What's the point? This is not the journey for you. They already see themselves in the future and they know what belongs there. And if it's not you, why should they waste your time or theirs? That's not nice. So they ghost you actually because they're courteous, because they don't want to waste your life and waste your time. But you guys take it as a malicious thing when really it's not malicious. It's really out of a desire to respect your time and to be kind to you and to give you a chance to orient yourself so you can redirect yourself in in an area that's actually more beneficial for you long term. So that's why ultimately Aquarius and Scorpio are not a good couple, but I see the attraction. I know exactly what it's about. It's about a lot of physical, emotional, and sexual and electrochemistry that isn't sustainable long term because every relationship needs fluidity, flexibility in order for it to work, and those two simply do not have it. So that was my answer for that question. I'm going to read some of your comments, and then that's going to be it for this evening. Someone says, do Aquarius find love? Yes, they do, with Sagittarius, with Aries, with Libra, with Gemini. That's who they find it with. Let's see, what are some of your other comments? Oh, there's some Aquariuses on the chat. Oh, yay. Yay. Aquarius is a big mystery. Yes, it's because they're so close to Pisces. They both have their heads in the clouds. I'm an Aquarius. I show too much emotion. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Some are more emotional than others. Let's see what else is going on. We are freaks. Yeah, Aquarius is definitely the biggest freak of the zodiac. Capricorn and Aquarius, girl. That's funny. Oh, so you guys are talking about Aquarius. Well stated. I fell in love with an Aquarius man as a Libra. Tell them, girl. An alien, yes. Big talk, small brains. Yep, like an onion, that's Scorpio. You exposed my secret as an Aquarius. That's funny. I try most things once as an Aquarius. Everyone around me calls me a know-it-all, but I love to know a little about everything. That's what it means to be an Aquarius. They're just jealous. It's okay. Just let them be. I like the mystery. Yes, Scorpio is definitely very mysterious and gives a lot of data if you're a researcher. Someone, yeah, you guys just want to see what happens. The world is a classroom. How can we not continuously learn? Exactly. But unfortunately, some people stop learning when they leave school. Don't get them mad and they get crazy AF. It's because they don't understand how people can be so rude and so cruel for no reason, especially when they always lead with love. People love to abuse Aquarius. That's why they always get karma when they do so. This is why Aquarius is a karmic. It's because people like to take their kindness for weakness because they come across passive. They come across laid back. So people think they have no power in that tank. And then they meet the other side and they're like, you're so mean. It's like, no, you are so mean. It's not me. It's you. You're so mean. Because me, in my natural state, I am kind. I'm generous. I'm thoughtful. I don't just care about what's good for me. I care about what's good for the world. What's good for every human being in the world. That's who I am at my core. So if you manage to get that kind of reaction out of me, who hardly ever trips about anything, because Aquarius, being next to Pisces, hardly ever gets mad about much. If you manage to get me all the way over there about something trivial, most likely, then you deserve what's coming. And what's coming is to teach you a lesson about your behavior and the impact that your behavior has on other people. Aquarius is an air sign. They're going to marry you. If you don't want your Aquarius to be mean, then you be kind. But if you think they're going to just lay down while you continue to abuse them, then you're an idiot. Because they're not. Literally, they're a gift to you. Aquarius, if you're in a personal, private, intimate relationship with Aquarius, you got a gift. Whether you want to do your work or not, that's your business. But Aquarius is literally here for you. But if you decide that you're going to use and abuse them instead of pumping them up and helping them align with their spiritual calling so they can actually change the world, that's you. That's your business. So if you're not going to be of help to them, and in that process, you also want to destroy them and deprive them of their self-esteem by trying to put them down, don't be surprised if they give it right back. Because honestly, Aquarius is too confident in their self-esteem to even allow you to have an opinion about it. Aquarius doesn't care what you think about them, fundamentally. But what they do care about, though, is how they're being treated. Because they treat people nicely at their core. So yeah, if you have an issue with an Aquarius, I'm willing to bet 8 times out of 10 is probably you. Yeah. Unless you can find me 3 other people that have had the same issue with that person. But it's probably you. Because Aquarius does not go into the world wanting to destroy it. In fact, their spiritual calling is to bring communities together to align around social, spiritual principles to make us better human beings. That is their state. That's why they have such high morals, high ethics, high rules of operations and how they do things, what they do, what they don't do, what they rock with, what they don't rock with. They have strong opinions about social justice. That's why. Because they're fundamentally kind people. So if you have an issue with an Aquarius, 8 times out of 10, it's going to be a you issue. Because whatever energy you're giving them, all the lessons they're trying to teach you that you're not absorbing, they decided to quit on you. And they're done with your education because you're not ready to learn. So what's the point? That's why they ghost you. Because you're not ready to learn. And hopefully the ghosting should have been the lesson. But some of you are going to get ghosted and still not get it. You're still going to turn around and blame them and not even understand that they were teaching you something. Some of you are so dense. Don't you notice patterns in your life? Let's forget religion and God for a minute. Your own life. What is your own life teaching you about your behavior? Don't you notice these patterns repeating in your life year after year of having the same issues with people, At what point do you decide to look in the mirror and go, I did this to that person, I did this to that person, I did this to that person, I did this to that. Finally, God sent me this Aquarius that I did this to, but it didn't work out because they gave it right back. Let's think. Let's get out of our feelings and think long term. Let's have a broad, wide view of our lives and the choices that we're making and how said choices are benefiting us or harming us. That is in your hands. That's one thing Aquarius knows for sure. My life is in my hands, so I will call the play. That's why they're never going to let you dominate them or boss them around. Why should they debase themselves to listen to a mere mortal when they're aliens? Hello? That's like hustling backwards. Why would I want to do that? I'm already in the future. Why do I want to go back to being a Taurus? I don't want to do that. No, ma'am. So no, you're never going to dominate them because they're ahead of you. And if you don't see that, then it's a you issue. I don't know what else to tell you. All right, guys. So that was my spill about Aquarius. Oh, thanks, guys, for the compliments on my makeup. I appreciate it. I guess I should wear makeup more often. Thank you so much for all of my gifts. Thank you, Tiger8. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for my roses. Yeah, like who wants to level down? Like nobody wants to hustle backwards. It's forward and upward. Forward and upward. We don't go back. So if you want me to hustle backwards to go listen to your dogma about life that are not rooted in science or anything logical or meaningful, then you have to make it make sense to me. And if you're incapable of that, then just let me be, because I honestly don't go around telling you how to live your life. I accept you the way you are. So why can't you mind your business and stay out of mine? It's very simple. You don't even have to like me, but you could just mind your business and stay out of my life. Aquarius gives all of you guys the luxury of minding their business and staying out of your life. They're the most accepting out of all the zodiac signs. Oh, thank you so much. This is cool.
You can book your astrology reading at intuitivehealing.com. You can also watch videos at Intuitive Healing here on YouTube for Astrology 101 content. Listen to the Aquarius podcast on Spotify, as well as here on YouTube for your horoscope. If you're interested in astrology and love connections, you can visit at Styled Under Libra. And of course, for health and wellness and holistic healing, visit at Styled Under Virgo for all of your astrology content. Thanks so much for watching.